Yeah, man. What's up, my purples? Been a long time. I apologize for this. It's because I've been seeing to the world. Los Angeles, New York, you name it. Big fun in the big town. Music making, other thing. You know what I'm saying? Making friend. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. But now I'm here back for you. I love you guys. This MPC Live. I will speak my pieces on this today, and we'll see what we think about this. I'm gonna do a little bit of a Maschine Mark III versus MPC Live comparison. People, when I first saw the MPC Live was coming, I must admit to you, I got quite the cumbersome hard on. I mean, battery power amazing? Fuck yeah, yo. But I buckle strapped it, moved on, focused on other things. Told me, you don't need to gas yourself about this, Jonathan. You don't need another machine because you love the machine. You don't need an MPC Live. Then I heard about some bugs and freezes and shit like this, and I thought to myself, fuck that. I don't need bugs in things in my life. You know what I'm saying? Look at me now. Few months later, we leave MPC Live together. So, like I told you, I was world traveling just now, and I figured since I had 2 trips coming up to the American, I needed this because it runs on battery. I don't need my laptop on the aeroplane machine. I needed to play live. I convinced myself for some reason. To be so much honest with you, I am kind of anxious to be bringing my MacBook around because that piece is quite an expensive little son of a bitch. I don't want it to get stolen or nothing. Now I've had it for enough time to confidently say I know most of the workabouts on it, and I can tell you whether it is going to be a good idea for you to get this or not. Maybe you have the same lustful desire for it that I had. You can watch this video and make a judgment in the end whether is your temptation really right. Do you follow through on this dream, or is it just a shallow love? You know what I'm saying? First, let me speak some history. Does this joker here knows what he's talking about? Is this his first MPC he's owned? No, I've owned several legacy MPCs since a long time back. I was raised on an MPC. No, well, put it this way. The EPS 16 Plus borned me. The MPC 2000 raised me, taught me my basic values and such about the world. The 2000 XL became like my stepfather. So and then I just had to get the 3000 some point of time. Then I had the EMAX, the SP1200, the S950, the S900, you name it. Back then, it really made sense for me to have an MPC because I made beats based only on samples. It was samples and just samples. I would sample 10 records, get all my sounds from the samples. But then when I got hooked on the machine, the first machine came out, the MK1 from Native Instruments. I told to me, oh, what is this world of endless possibilities with virtual instruments and such? It spoiled me, to be honest. Really, it spoiled myself because I found new ways to make the beat. At first, it was kind of tricky to figure out the scenes and everything. But give or take 2 or 3 hours when I figured that shit out, and how it differentiates from how the sequences works on the Akai MPCs. It just made so much more sense to me. Just a personal preference thing, you know what I'm saying? If you want to work with more than samples, I don't know, this just made more sense to me. Yeah, like I said, I know the workflow very well from the MPCs, and it lives up to that, plus some more. I mean, if you used an MPC before, you're gonna be familiar with the layout and how things work on it. It's not gonna be a problem for you to get up and running right away. But I expected it to be all that plus up to par with the functionality of the machine, since we are living today, you know what I'm saying? If you're moving from another MPC, an older MPC, to this new one, life's gonna be dandy, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be a problem. Matter of fact, you're gonna love the hell out of it. But if you're going from a machine to the MPC Live, there are some differences you need to be aware of. First thing first, look at the size of this piece. It is pretty chunky. It's not super portable. It does have all the outputs you need. So you're not gonna miss anything, and it does still run on battery, but call it portable. I wouldn't go as far as to be saying that. It's pretty chunky. It's not too heavy, but size-wise, it's not gonna fit your regular backpack. For instance, when I went to the States, it didn't fit first my original traveler bag. I had to get a bigger one, even. It'll fit in a backpack, no problem. But you need to have a nice bag for it to be carrying it around comfortably, you know what I'm saying? I can't bring my machine on the aeroplane without booking 2 seats. Because the laptop, you know what I'm saying? Well, you will put this somewhere and then I need to put the laptop somewhere else. It just is not very smooth. Akai wins here. Hotel room, machine wins. Aeroplane seat, MPC Live, win. I know Native Instruments, it's not very realistic to be asking for a Maschine MK3 that is portable and in the same size as this, because it feels like you filled up the space in there. But still, at the same time, I mean, look at the Raspberry Pi joints. Technology is there, so please just get to it. Pads, impressive and superior to the machine in some aspects. For drums, if you want to play other sounds like instrument sounds and stuff and make finer accentuations, I find the machine pads to be better. But if you really want to bang it out, some hardcore drums, it's got some nice chunky pads for you. Machine pads are more sensitive, and I believe also they have aftertouch. That's a no-go with the MPC Live. To your liking, which do you prefer? Browsing sounds in the MPC Live is alright, but it kinda sucks compared to the way the machine works. The machine, you got your tags, your tag library. Here you can press search directory and just write the name of your sample. Say I want a kick, I'll just write kick. I get a whole bunch of kicks listed. But I can't browse by categories. In the machine library, baby, I want a synth brass. I'll just tag my synth brass, and there I have it. Life is so easy, yeah. Drums that come with it are pretty cool. I mean, you can tweak them endlessly, and you can live just off of that. So that's all right. Instrument sounds that come with it, they really suck ass. I mean, there's a few sounds you can use, but after 4 or 5 beats, they'll be old. You want something else. I just noticed when I sat with this how much I miss my synth plugins. Again, I've been spoiled with having the machine because you can have your VST instruments on there. You got the whole fucking Native Instruments library, and you just never run out of sounds. Some people think that's a problem because you get stuck, and whatever I hear people talking about, you get stuck browsing for sounds and you can't really get started. For me, that is not a huge problem, to be honest. I just want to have my sounds there at my fingertips and get going. So that's something I really found to be an issue for me with the MPC Live. Because before, when I used the MPC, I only used samples. So if I was still working like that, I mean, I would fucking love this joint. Sample everything you need and go with that. Now I find myself being kinda held back because I don't have the huge library I have when I'm making love to my machine, you know what I'm saying? So I worked around this by before going to the trip. I loaded up a bunch of sounds and I just multi-sampled them, and I used the key groups and made instruments on the MPC Live. But it takes a lot of work, and it's not the most smoothest workflow you can have. In my dreams before I bought this, I thought to myself, oh, this got a computer, it's got a little computer thing in it, and it's going to be able to run VST plugins. But that was, of course, not it was not the case. I mean, that would charge it to a whole nother level, in my opinion, since I use very many VST plugins, and I like to keep it that way. I would also enjoy if they had some kind of synth engine built into the MPC Live. You can make like a makeshift synth engine by sampling waveforms, singling out waveforms, looping them, and using the sampler functions such as the filter and the envelopes and stuff to make your own sounds. But there are limitations to that as well. I love my lead synth with the legato, the mono synth with the legato on it. I love that shit. So I was looking for the function, anything that says, you know, like legato, portamento, glide, whatever, and it's non-existent. They don't have it in there. So please, Akayu, put that in there, because I love it. Fix it. I googled and everything. It's not there. Fix it. So when you make your own sounds like that, it works pretty nice for chords and stuff, but if you want to make really nice lead sounds, not so much. Battery life is way good enough. I mean, it'll last you like 5 or 6 hours. I never had, it was a couple times when I ran out of battery. By that time I was tired of making beats anyway, so that's fine. If you're looking to be hiking in the woods for 2 weeks, I would say bring an OP1 instead. Another gripe I have is the transferring to the computer. See, when I got this, what I expected was I could make a project on the MPC software, load it, like connect it to the computer, get it communicating instantly, just bring it on the go, work on it, bring it back, plug it in, continue on the computer. It doesn't quite work like that. If you want to transfer a project from the MPC to your computer, you actually have to save the project to a SD card or a USB drive, like a USB stick or a hard drive, and then transfer it to the computer. You can't just plug it in via USB and keep going. So that's kind of a workflow hurdle. I would expect it to just work seamlessly, you know what I'm saying? And another thing that I expected was to have lots of sample memory, so I could, like, even if I don't make too many beats from scratch on the MPC, I could bring projects from the machine and bring the stems into the MPC Live and make kind of live sets. Bring like 9 or 10 beats in there with the stems, but the memory turns out is quite limited. They say they have like 2 gigabytes of internal memory, but 1.6 gigabytes is occupied by the actual operating system, meaning all that space is worthless. You're gonna bring the stems of 2 or 3 beats, and you're gonna fill up your memory. So it doesn't stream from the SD card, neither. There's something I know a lot of people have been talking about. Please, Akai, put the function to where you can stream from the SD card all the samples, so you don't need to use the internal memory to play back all your sounds. That would make it much smoother. If you're working with only like samples, making boom bap beats and stuff like that, the MPC is still the thing for you. But I moved on to other things, more. There is no machine out there more powerful than this when it comes to portable machines that run on battery and working with samples. It's great. It's fucking great. You can make your whole album on this. But that is if you work with samples exclusively, and it's clearly geared towards that. For me, not so much enough for me anymore. I evolved in another direction with the machine, with my beat making. But the Akai, they do their thing for their people, and that's fine, but not for me. It's got potential, Akai, but right now I'm selling this, and I'm putting more love into my machine. So I can see it being more of a sketch pad for me personally, and that is not enough for that price. I get started on beats and stuff, but all that money, no, it's not worth it. I use my head as a sketch pad instead, or get the OP1. For me, because I like to go nuts with the synthesizers. Why I rather get the OP1 for making sketches? Because it's so portable. I can fit it in my jacket, in the pocket of my jacket. It's so portable, and the battery power is like 12 hours. You can't beat that. If you're 100% about the samples, you get your MPC Live. Even so, with the sample editing, the machine is a bit faster than the MPC Live. I'm not gonna keep this around just for sketching out quick ideas and stuff. It's fun on a vacation, but it's here, look at me using it on the plane. It's not very comfortable. It's supposed to be a portable unit. Where the fuck do I put this? It doesn't go in my pocket, that's for sure. I was gonna put this in my bag. I had to put the bag up there because this is too huge and humongous to put anywhere. So now I have it in my lap, like a laptop, you know what I'm saying? Suppose I would perchance like to store it somewhere else, stash it away for a while. I may look like I make beats 24/7, but actually, to tell you the real truth, it's not the truth. So for a minute, I want to put this somewhere else. Where do I put it? We have such a nice and comfortable front seat pocket here. Looks like it ought to make a snug fit there, won't it? Let's give it a try, shall we? Cannot. This thing is fucking humongous. I ended up not using it very much on the plane. I used it more on the hotel than I did on the plane. And then I might as well just bring the machine and the laptop, because there is space in the hotel room to bring out the laptop and the machine and have a beautiful time. So, you know, I am very impressed by this. It's a wonderful machine, really, but it doesn't do it for me. It's not enough. I am too spoiled by the functionality, the speed, the workflow of the machine. That's just my personal take on it. You choose to make your own decision. Like I said, if you're working with samples and you travel a lot, you got the money to spare, I say, yeah, you can buy this and have a lot of fun with it. But overall, for me, she's the winner of the grand prize. Just amazing. I don't want to be asshole. Come on, you are amazing too, MPC Live. I think maybe you're gonna make somebody very happy. It's not me though. Bye-bye.